about truth. Oh, every single thing all boils down to the truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.
All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the broadcast. This is PFT Live. We're going to be taking some questions today from the YouTube chat. We're going to be taking questions from steemit.com/@pressfortruth. So please share this link. Let people know we are, in fact, live right now. I'm going to go ahead and do that, so just bear with me. Post this on steemit.com. Share the link around on all the various social media platforms. Going to put it on Facebook real quick, put it on Twitter. If you guys could do the same, that'd be awesome. And be sure to get your questions in to the chat window or the Steemit post if you are on my Steemit. Again, bear with me. Just got to post this link around, let people know we are live. Okay, there it goes to Facebook. Let's put it out on Twitter. Let's just say real quick, live right now. All right. So, done. All right, great to have you guys with me. Let me go back to the YouTube, see if we have anybody tuning in. All right, we got some viewers. Hey, what's up, everybody? Rika the Hopeful Voluntarist, hello. Hey, everybody's saying hi. What's up? Hi, Dan, love your work. Thank you very much. Greetings, Earthling. Happy Tuesday. You bring pizza for everybody. Well, that's nice. Just hit the like and shared. Thank you, Paul Radford. All right, so it looks like we're good. Let me double check the Steemit post. Make sure we are, in fact, live. We are live. Let me make sure we are posted over there. And we are. Good. So what I'm going to do is refresh the Steemit post every now and then, take some questions from there, and obviously take some questions from the chat. I'll try my best to keep an eye on the chat. We've already got 60 people tuned in, so it might start to fly by real quick, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, let me know what you want to talk about. I just finished getting off a pretty solid interview. I can't wait to post this one. There's a university professor out of Acadia University in Wolfville, Nova Scotia, who is now going through the same things that Professor Jordan Peterson has been going through. He speaks out against certain social justice warrior ideologies that have permeated the education system and made their way into the curriculum, and he's just trying to bring some sense to some things. And he said a few statements on Twitter and in class that these students got triggered by. And so they launched petitions to have this guy fired. His name is Rick Mehta. Rick Mehta. Get used to that name because he's a Jordan Peterson in the making. They're literally tried to get him kicked out and fired, not able to do any more lectures because he says things like there's no such thing as the pay gap. He speaks about there only being two genders. He made the controversial statement saying that indigenous populations often play the victimhood status, and people really lashed out at him for saying these types of things. He even said on Twitter, he retweeted somebody where he says, it's statistically impossible for every single indigenous child in those schools to have been treated badly. That's just a fact. Statistically, it's not even possible. And these students took him for that as him saying that that's ridiculous, So anyways, I just finished getting off the line with this guy like maybe a couple of hours ago, and we just had a really, really, really interesting conversation. I wrote down some of the things he was saying. That's it. He also said that he doesn't feel guilty or responsible for any of the wrongdoings to historic populations before he was even born. And these SJWs and these kids who are just, trigger warning kids who want to recluse to their safe spaces are freaking out over this guy. So, anyways, just finished up a pretty solid interview with that guy, and I was going to post it today, but it's going to take me some time to throw it together. So I decided I'm just going to quickly go live. We'll do maybe an hour-long live video or so, and then I'll post that one tomorrow. Hey, Lee Stewie. I see Lee is just joined the chat. She is currently sitting at a Kathleen Wynne town hall. You may remember Lee from when she, questioned Trudeau at a town hall in a manner that got national attention, which was awesome. And now hopefully she's going to do something similar to Kathleen Wynne. She's there right now. Check her out in the chat and subscribe to her channel and click the bell notification, because she will likely be going live very soon to question Kathleen Wynne. And if you guys had an opportunity to question Kathleen Wynne, what would you say to her? Put it in the chat right now. Maybe you'll give Lee a couple of good ideas. I mean, Lee's solid. I'm sure she's going to do fine. But let me know your thoughts. What would you want to hit up the Premier of Ontario, for anybody who doesn't know, Kathleen Wynne, about? I was thinking that Lee should talk about Bill 89. If anybody's not familiar with that, this is the bill that would give the Child Protection Services the ability to take your child away from you if you refuse to use their preferred gender pronoun. Just mind-boggling Marxist ideologies that have made its way into Ontario's politics, and Kathleen Wynne is hopefully going to have to answer for her promoting this concept. It's just such a sign of the times, of the breakdown of society that we're seeing. So, pay attention to that one, guys. Lee's probably going to be live pretty soon, confronting Kathleen Wynne with some solid questions, or just shouting her down as she did Justin Trudeau, which I got to admit, I love to see. It's fun to watch that stuff. Okay, let's quickly go through and see if we have any questions. I'm just going to scroll through a lot of comments. Hello, hi, hey Dan, hi from the UK. Hey Dan, looks like your new wife is keeping you fit. Oh, thank you. I have been, actually. Okay, guys, I'll tell you. I'm on a secret mission to get ripped. I started working out. I gave myself 1 year. I'm working out every single day. I'm eating ridiculously healthy. And at the end of this year, I hope to reach my goal. I'm not going to tell you what the date was, but let's just say I'm on track. So by the time I reach that 1 year date, I should be looking pretty damn good. Well, it's not all about looks. I just want to feel good. You know what I mean? I'm tired of not feeling good. I think the chemicals in the food, the fluoride in the water, the chemicals in the air, human beings are not supposed to feel like the way they do. Often, tired and achy and things of that nature. So I really just wanted to get healthy. We've been shopping at local farmers markets, getting all organic produce and stuff like that, and it's been fantastic. In fact, I'm going to the extreme. I recently just I'm taking a hiatus from cannabis use, and people who know me probably be pretty surprised, but I'm gonna take about 3 to 4 months off of ingesting cannabis of any kind. No drinking either, just completely sober, which is a great way to be. Nothing wrong with smoking cannabis. It's just I've been doing it every day since I was about 13 years old, and that's a long time. And so anyways, this is all part of my health kick lately, of trying to get in shape and fit. And I'm glad you People apparently are starting to notice. So that's cool. I think it's working. Okay. Always a hope. Boxers or briefs. I'm into the boxer briefs now. It's all about the boxer briefs. You got to get a mix of two worlds. That's where it's at. Keep up the good work. Thank you. On Steemit says it's a mystery. Derek Johnson, purge. I'm gonna this short temporarily killing pedophiles. Not sure what you mean. Okay, let me just keep going through here. What's up, Dan PFT? Not seeing too many questions. I'll just keep scrolling down because there's a lot of comments. Somebody asked, located in Canada? Yes, I am broadcasting out right now out of British Columbia, Canada. I'm in a beautiful small mountain town called Squamish. I moved here from Toronto. I was right downtown Toronto for 10 years, and then I went from there to basically this little tiny mountain town in the middle of nowhere, and I gotta say, I love it. I wasn't too sure at first, how I was gonna like this, and I'm not looking back, man. I don't get me wrong, I love Toronto, I love the city, but there's just something about the air out here and the people out here. And speaking of all that chemical stuff, Squamish has the best tap water I've ever had in my life. There's zero fluoride. Our tap water is not fluoride, it's fluoridated, so I'm so happy about that. It's a beautiful thing. So anyways, yes, I am broadcasting here out of Canada. Let's see, what else we got? The Donk Whisperer says, hi Dan, is reality a dream, an illusion, or a simulation created by and or influenced by our consciousness, thoughts, and intentions? I don't think it's an illusion. I see where you're going with that. I'm very well aware of the we create our own reality and the fact that things potentially manifest because of our perceptions. An interesting thing, the Whisperer, you are probably familiar with Masaru Emoto, I think he was a Japanese scientist who did a study on hidden messages in water. And he would put messages of love on some water, messages of hate on other ones, and then he would photograph the crystals and find that the ones with love looked beautiful and radiant, and the ones with messages of hate looked all broken down and just terrible. But I started thinking to myself, it's all in the eye of the perceiver. So this experiment started to feel flawed to me, because if it is your intentions that are creating that reality, which is true to an extent, I think when he looks through the microscope and observes it, whatever he's feeling at that time of observing it is going to potentially change it right then and there. Although he has taken pictures of slightly half-frozen snowflakes and stuff like that, but I think it's an interesting concept anyways. But I am of the belief that we're not necessarily here in the Matrix. This is all the real world. But yes, your thoughts and your intentions are going to create your reality in some degree. That law of attraction is true to an extent. Even with the messages in water. I mean, water is the most receptive element in the world. Our bodies are made up of like 80 or 90% water, and water can pick up on the slightest of frequencies, even thought. Because anything and everything technically is vibrating. Everything has a certain resonant frequency, and even our intentions have something like that. So that's why, we can get something like, we call it bad vibes, when maybe somebody walks into a room and you can kind of feel that energy. Well, there is definitely some truth to that, but I don't like to go down that road too much, because it leads to people thinking that it's all comes down to them, which I don't think is necessarily true. Okay, I've got a ton of stuff coming through. Let me try to get to some other people here. All right. Somebody wants me to tell Lee, please tell her to get a good seat so that it's not hard for security to get her once she starts to ask confrontational questions. You know what? I've got my phone here. She's literally there right now. She might go live any moment. So maybe we'll do some sort of double simulcast live, and we'll sit here and watch it together if she does go live. But I'll be keeping my eye on that. Somebody says, Jim Leahy says, David Icke, please have him back on PFT. Yeah, I've interviewed him a couple of times. I got an opportunity to hang out with him a few times. We had breakfast in England, and we hung out here in Vancouver at his hotel for a little while. We went for a walk down to the waterfront and did some interviews. I would definitely be up for having him on again. I've never done a Skype interview. I've only ever done it in person, so yeah, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to reach out to him for a Skype interview. What should I interview him about, though? What would you want to hear in a discussion between myself and David Icke? Let me know, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Truth Stream Media does the great videos on intentions. I love Truth Stream Media. Those guys are great. I haven't seen the ones you're referring to, but I will concur. They do put out good stuff. All right. This is frozen a little bit. Doesn't seem to want to scroll. So let me bounce on over to the Steemit and give that a quick refresh and see if we got any questions coming in from there. Somebody says, hey Dan, I find the idea of Steemit awesome, but the interface and setup is confusing. I know it's early in the platform launch, but even the help section are kind of wonky. Any place to get Steemit usage tools? Yeah, if you go on the right side of your Steemit post and you sign up for the Steemit chat, you can actually find some people in there to pretty much answer any of your questions. In fact, one of the good places to go for this is on Facebook. You can find some Steemit techie groups where if you have any technical questions, you can ask them. But yes, it is still in beta. It's in its early stages of development still. So yeah, I'm sure there's still some bugs to work out. I've got friends of mine who are having problems, password issues and stuff like that. But again, it's a work in progress. Same with everything being built on the Steemit blockchain, like DTube and DLive. I tried DLive out. I'm not doing it right now for a specific reason. I wanted to specifically go to YouTube today and focus on the Steemit, and I have to use one operating system studio at a time, so I can't unfortunately do YouTube and DTube at the same time unless I go live on my cell phone to YouTube and then on the webcam to DTube. Maybe I'll try that next time. Okay, let's scroll through here. I saw another question mark. Where did that go? Is the world actually run by a small cadre of people? Short answer, yes. I do believe it is. The powers that ought not to be have managed to work themselves into fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer hands. It really is a pyramidal structure with them at the top, and a lot of people think there's 13 of them or so. I have the book, actually my light is propped up on it right now, The 13 Bloodlines of the Illuminati by Fritz Springmeier, and that gets into a lot of the families, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Reynolds and the Schiffs, and it goes on and on. Well, there's 13 of them. I haven't read that book in quite a while, but yes, absolutely, that's where we're at this stage in the game. PFT and David view on InfoWars, support for Trump, and where InfoWars is headed. So somebody's asking me my views on InfoWars, support for Trump, and where InfoWars is headed. Oh man, Alex Jones' support for Trump really ticked me off, because this is a man who talked about the false left-right paradigm for years. I mean, he has a big part to do with my awakening in that regard. And then to see him all of a sudden just throw that concept entirely out the window, like as if this man managed to beat the system, like he managed to fool everyone and the deep state and you know, beat the electoral system and get past the secret government. No, man, that's just, in my opinion, not the case at all. At this stage in the game, if you are president of the United States, the deep state is either sanctioned it, made it happen, or is allowing it to happen. So whether or not he is a controlled puppet to the extent where he realizes it, I'm not too sure. I mean, maybe he's a useful idiot and they've allowed this to happen because he's, they are maybe planning to crash the dollar and blame it on him. Now, there's a number of reasons why the deep state would allow this to happen, but if it's happening, I can pretty much guarantee you it's because they are allowing it. And the fact that InfoWars went down that road is really, really sad and disturbing. So I don't know where things are going to go for them. I put out a video talking about Jones just a couple of days ago because their InfoWars channel was temporarily suspended. I don't even know. He made some statements saying like, "Oh, they told us they're going to delete the channel tomorrow, and this might be our last video because tomorrow they're deleting all our videos." YouTube doesn't do that, all right? They don't send out messages. They might send you warnings here and there for your first one, second one, but when it's deletion time, they don't say, "Hey, we're going to delete you tomorrow." So he's getting a little bit out of hand. I got to admit, fame and money can probably do some strange things to people. I don't think he's controlled opposition, but I don't think it's going down a good road. I think he's slowly losing his integrity. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I got to give the man credit where credit is due. I probably would literally not be sitting here right now if he was never born. Let's just say if he never existed, I might not be here doing this right now. That's literally how much he has influenced me back in the day to do what I'm doing today. So give the man credit where credit is due, but somewhere along the lines he has swayed away from where he ought to be. So that's just my take on it. I did a video quite a while ago called Alex Jones, Friend or Foe. Give that one look that one up, Jim Leahy, and see what I have to say there. Paul Radford says, Dan, did you hear about Facebook asking people for nude pics of their kids? No, I did not, but, at this stage in the game, nothing would surprise me. Send a link if you have it, I'll check it out, but, yeah, that sounds disgusting. Okay, it's jumping around real quick here. Freddie, somebody says, wow, I can't believe you said that. Let me know what you're referring to, and maybe I'll elaborate, explain myself if you're confused. Okay, you should chat with Ryan Dawson, somebody says. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I think he just had his channel deleted, completely terminated. I don't really, to be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about the guy. I've never really watched any of his stuff. He contacted me once, really upset that I named one of my films 9/11 Decade of Deception, the 2-hour recut of our Toronto hearings on 9/11. I called it Decade of Deception, not knowing that there was a film out there called Decade of Deception. I had no clue whatsoever, and we released this thing, and he messaged me saying, how could you do that? My God, you ripped off my title. And I thought, ooh, I didn't know that, man. We just called it what it was, and sorry about your luck. The same thing happened actually when I picked the name Press for Truth. I picked that name in late 2005, early 2006. I started my channel, I think, in June 2006 or something like that. I came up with Press for Truth in my own head. I thought it was a great title. It's a triple meaning. And about 6 months later, or I don't know, 5-6 months later, this movie called 9/11 Press for Truth came out. And I was like, oh man, everybody's going to think that I ripped off my name from this movie or vice versa because it's in the vein of 9/11. Started thinking there's going to be a lot of confusion here. People are going to think this is my film. People are going to think they're involved with me. But it was a total coincidence. So it's just unfortunate, I suppose. All right. Let's see if we got any more questions. Which video is it on a call for an uprising? I'm not exactly positive. Dan, have you ever looked into free man movement? And if so, what do you think? Yeah, absolutely. I've covered it quite extensively back in the day. Anyways, I had Rob Menard over to my house to do an interview with him. In fact, he was invited onto the CBC's The National, and I went there as backup to make sure we had footage to show the kind of spin they would put on the free man on the land sovereignty movement here in Canada, and indeed they did. And then I released the YouTube video saying, here it is, full, uncut, and you can watch and see how they twisted his words and they made it look like a big, bad, scary terrorist organization or something. But, I followed it for a little while. I personally didn't get super into it because if you want to become a free man on the land, you gotta really dive in head first. You gotta know what you're talking about. You gotta know the lingo. You gotta really understand the wording, and it's a tough battle to take on. And I kudos to everyone involved. I'm an admin of the Free Man on the Land page on Facebook. I still try to help people there in that regard sometimes, but I'm just kind of an observer at this point. But more power to those people. I tried to interview Dean Clifford like 2 weeks ago in Acapulco, Mexico. I was there a couple weeks ago for the annual Anarchapulco conference. I was invited there to speak. I taught a workshop, and I found out Dean Clifford was there. But he must have only been there for one day because he apparently just did his talk and then left, and I never did get a chance to interview him. But I wouldn't mind doing that one sometime. So, yeah, maybe I'll reach out to him again, Dean Clifford, and we'll see if we can get all the latest on the free man movement here in Canada. All right, let's see. Nothing new here yet. Here's one. Hi, Dan. What do you think about the Italian election results? No idea. I haven't, I tuned in a little bit. A friend of mine was broadcasting it live on his YouTube channel, so I tuned in for a little bit, but I myself have been ridiculously busy over the last few days, and in fact, I've got a lot coming up in the next few days. I'm heading to New York in 4 days for the weekend to work on a project for a friend of mine. All will be revealed soon, but I can't say anything right now. But let's just say I'm working on something pretty darn cool in a couple of days in New York, and you will all hear about it probably in April or May, I think. But anyways, lots of cool, exciting stuff coming up. Was Billy Graham a Freemason? Asks Scott Rutherford. I really don't know. I've never seen any evidence to suggest that, but it's quite possible. I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility. Billy Graham, of course, just recently died for real this time. A lot of people there was a conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call it, that played into the Mandela effect, that he was dead a long time ago, but obviously it's not true. The guy just died. But no, I'm not so sure. But I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Dan, have you watched Alex Jones in the last year? No, not really. I tune in like... Yeah, I watched him when he went on the Joe Rogan podcast. What else have I watched? Not really. I don't really tune in much anymore. No reason really. I'm just too busy doing my own things to watch that all the time. But I mean, I still do watch stuff, obviously. Some of my favorites are, James Corbett, one of the best out there. I'm a huge fan. I watch all his videos. In fact, he's the only guy who I'll share or like the video before actually finishing to watch the whole thing, because I trust him and his information that much. There's nobody else I do that with. I like to watch Luke Radowski of We Are Change, Josh Sigurdson, and John Snyson. I basically watch my friends. Me and Molly don't have a television. We threw out the TV 7 years ago or something like that. I did anyways. So that's the kind of entertainment we're into. Okay, I better go back over to the Steemit, because this is a Steemit AMA as well as the YouTube chat. So let me just refresh that and we'll see if we got any more coming in there. All right, we got a few. Hey, Dan says, see the Prince. Hey, Dan, I'm currently in college in Ontario, where a job is going to be guaranteed after graduating in the nuclear industry. People used to rip on me for pronouncing that apparently wrong. Do you think it's a good idea, and what are your thoughts on current job markets for young people like me coming out of college? Will student debt help destroy my generation? Well, yes. I'm sad to hear that you are dealing with the struggles of student debt, and it blows my mind that that's how today's students are sent out into the world. It's like, okay, let's give you the tools. Let's get you ready to go on out there and take on the world. And they do it by putting you, some people, $50,000, $100,000 in debt when they leave there. It's absolutely insane. But hopefully you're involved in something that's going to be in the good field of nuclear, which I do believe there is a lot of good things that can go on there. So I would encourage people, if you're thinking about it, don't go to school. College is a waste of time. University is a waste of time. Just get right into the workforce straight out of high school. Man, oh man, do I wish I didn't waste $10,000 on a 1-year college program for a music recording program that I never really used. Well, that's not true. When I started making documentary films, I did the soundtracks to all 5 of my films, and I ended up using that knowledge for that. But it was just a big waste of time and money, and I think it is for most people. If you really just dive in, when have you ever seen anybody say, oh, if you're going to get this job, I need to see what your scores were first in your SATs, or I need to see that diploma. Never does that happen. It's not necessary. In fact, the guy I just interviewed earlier today, Rick Mehta, the interview will be out later, he says, and I may even title the video something along this lines, the education system needs to fall like the Berlin Wall did. He suggested that parents stop putting their kids in school altogether. And this is an associate professor of psychology at Acadia University saying this. Again, I just interviewed that guy a couple hours ago. Really good conversation. That video is going to be out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. D. Rutter says, if Steemit and DTube continue to be stable and continue to grow, are you likely to move your online activism base here? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the question. In fact, I am doing that. I'm on the Steemit right now, and I've been posting every single video I do to DTube because I really think it's important that we diversify. I'm also on BitChute, DTube, Steemit. These are some of my favorites, but in the face of censorship that we're dealing with, I mean, DTube has been amazing, and Steemit for that matter. The YouTube adpocalypse really ripped into my revenues, which they can keep it. I mean, it's Google's dirty money in the first place. I would much rather be here on DTube getting contributions from viewers. That's where it's at for me. So I'll still post on YouTube because that's where the people are. What I'm worried about, D. Rutter, is creating, just having an ideological echo chamber where I'm preaching to the choir. That is not what I'm interested in. So, I am migrating to these platforms, but it's important for me to continue to broadcast on YouTube because that's where the sleepy are. This is where the people who we need to bring on over to these platforms currently are. And a lot of the information I'm trying to expose to people, the people who need to hear it the most, just so happen to be on YouTube. So I'm going to continue to stay on YouTube, but I'm going to promote Steemit.com and D.tube as much as I can. Because, as I said, it's been a game changer for me. It's really changed the game for all independent media. So yeah, I'm all about Steemit.com and DTube these days. Again, they are in beta. I can't wait for DTube to put out an app. I know they're working on it. I've interviewed the creator of DTube twice, and the last time I spoke to him, he said an app is in development. So when we can start, posting on the go, that's gonna really change the game. So let me go ahead and refresh this, and look at that, $5.49 right now. Oh, I just refreshed it, and it's $7.80 right now. So just in case you don't know, that's about 8 SBD, 8 Steam dollars. The way this works is in 7 days from now, I will get to keep half of that. So let's say at this point of this post, that'd be 4 Steam dollars. I'm on Coin Market Cap right now just to check what Steam dollars are currently trading for. They're currently trading at $3.48 US. So my 4 Steam SBD at $3 US, we're up 3 and change. We're up to about $13 US so far. That's like $15 Canadian that I've already made in this. How long have we been broadcasting? Half hour. It's fantastic. And what I do is I trade the SBD for Bitcoin or a whole host of other cryptocurrencies. I'm into about 15 of them now. And trading SBD for Bitcoin or even fiat, straight up. Steemit's literally been paying my bills. Sometimes I'll just cash it in, trade it in for Bitcoin, send that to localbitcoins.com, sell that there, and have a direct deposit sent into my checking account for that amount. And it's a beautiful thing, man, that we can do this outside of the control of the government, the banks. We are now like our own bank. We can interact with each other without any kind of a third party being involved whatsoever. It's just such a game changer. And Steemit and DTube are really, really cool. Okay, we got a lot more stuff coming through. Let me see if we also have any super chats. I forgot to check that. No super chats, sadly. Just kidding. That is what a picture is, worth 1,000 words. Somebody says Jones and Trump is playing 4D chess. Okay, let me see if I got any more questions. My phone is going off. Just checking to see if that's Lee going live. Okay, so she did text me. She's there. She still might be going live very soon. I also just got a text from Shepard Bellis, who runs IntelliHub. He's trying to get a hold of me right now because I'm supposed to go live with him in a couple hours from now. I'm going to be doing an hour-long interview. He wants to have me on his show. There's a lot going on today. I did an interview earlier today with a guy named Rick Mehta. I'm doing this live broadcast now, and then in a couple hours from now, well, after this, I got to go work out. I got to do my whole routine, take the dog for a walk, come back, do all my workout. Takes a couple of hours. And then go pick up Molly from work, and then come home, and then start editing my... Then I got to do the interview with Shepard. And then I got to edit the video that I shot a couple hours ago to put it out tomorrow. So anyways, that's that schedule. Okay. How do you stay so positive? Asks Nat Isaac. Well, it's important to have balance when you're in this movement and you're doing this type of research, it can get pretty gloomy. It can get pretty depressing, and you're looking into some pretty dark stuff, and you're learning about how awful the world really is in a sense. But it's important to maintain that balance to keep your sanity and to just be lighthearted about things. I used to be in a league. I used to go every Tuesday nights to a pool league. I'm big into billiards. Unfortunately, they don't have anything like that around here. Since I've moved, I haven't been able to find anything like that. But I'm finding that balance in other ways. Like by just going out for walks and exercising and things of that nature. Really, really important to do. I go to church. I think my connection with my Creator keeps me balanced and keeps me happy, positive, and motivated. And what else? I guess lately, just physically feeling better is going to help with that. So just getting a little bit more healthy is really going to help with that. So yeah, these things can get pretty dark and gloomy and depressing and scary, but it's so important to maintain that balance in a number of ways. So thank you for the question. Okay, let me continue going on through here. I like Doug Ford, says Mac Plummer. Not sure if he can change the system, though. Yeah, I'm not so sure he can at this point either. Mainly because of, what he's coming off of there. Rob Ford generally has the outside world has not a good view of him, even though a lot of Torontonians actually really, really like the guy. I didn't mind him too much when I was there myself. Doug Ford, I don't know how. Not that I didn't mind him. He was kind of he was crazy, but Doug Ford was. I don't know. I don't know enough about Doug, and I haven't been following that because I moved out of Toronto about 4 years ago. So I'm kind of focusing on other things. Dan, on David Icke coming back, please cover recent MK Ultra shootings and Hollywood pedophilia. Yeah, Jim Leahy, good suggestion. David Icke is really knowledgeable in the Hollywood pedophilia area and about MK Ultra. He would be very good to talk to about that. We got into some of the Hollywood pedophilia stuff in my first interview with them, where I talk about demonic entities and things of that nature with him. And if you haven't seen that one, check it out. I don't remember what I titled that one, but you can just use the search feature on YouTube in my YouTube channel, and you'll find it. But go check that one out. Okay. Reptiles? No, demons. Okay. Not seeing too many other questions. Gandalf, sup, man? Oh, that's somebody talking to somebody else. Dan works for CSIS. No. Not quite there, Gandalf the White. All right, let me hop on back over to the Steemit. Give this a quick refresh. See if we got more questions. Look at that. The Steemit post keeps going up and up. We're up to $8, 8 SBD. That's awesome. Barry Dutton, how you doing, brother? Barry, if you guys aren't following him on Steemit, you definitely should be. He's got a wealth of information, especially about the cryptocurrency space. He's been donating to me SBD on a daily basis for the last month. It's donate to indie media, $1 a day month for Barry. So that's been amazing. Thank you so much once again, Barry, for your support and your contributions. I see you have a question. Dan, what can we do to wake people up en masse without censorship regarding the Comer issue? To those that don't know, it's the Canadistan version of hashtag End the Fed. Yes, Comer, the Committee on Monetary and Economic Reform, is an initiative that was launched by, what's her name, Ann Emmett, and I can't remember their names now, but an old couple who's going, directly attacking the Bank of Canada, or I should say, trying to reform it back to the way it was pre-1974. A lot of people don't know that William Lyon Mackenzie King nationalized the Bank of Canada, and the bank used to print its own money, and that was used to build infrastructure in Canada. But it was when the G7 came along, when Canada wanted to join that international community, and we began borrowing from the IMF and the Bank of International Settlements and things of that nature, and instead of using the Bank of Canada as it was intended. So the Comer initiative is attempting to reform, to have monetary reform back to the way it was pre-1974. So it's very interesting. There's been a lot of delays. It's being pushed back in court. There's been appeal after appeal after appeal. And I gotta say, man, I don't know, Barry, if anything's going to actually go down there. The plaintiffs, the people involved, are in their late 90s. I mean, they're not going to be around for much longer. So they could literally be just playing that card, just waiting for these guys to croak so this thing dies out and fizzles out. But the way to wake up the masses to it, to answer your question, is to do what we're doing right now. We got to talk about it. We got to bring it up. I've done a number of videos on it. Again, if you go to the YouTube, search my channel and you use the search feature, just type in Comer. You'll find all my videos. I've interviewed the Rocco Galati, the lawyer. I went to the press conferences in Toronto, been all over that case. So yes, thank you for bringing that up, Barry. Barry says, did you get sick of seeing my name in your wallet every day last month? No, I did not. That's he's talking about the daily donations. And anybody can see that. Your Steemit wallet is visible to anyone. So you can see how much money I've been making on Steemit, who gives me money, where and when I trade it. So go check it out. All right, we got somebody else here. Hey, Dan, I find the idea of Steemit awesome, but the oh, wait, we already did that one. Did we? Find the interface setup confusing. I know it's early in the platform launch, but even the help section... Oh, yeah, we did that. Check out the chat, a few other things, Facebook technical groups. Okay, let me go down and see what else we got. What more will be revealed about Steemit? I really don't get how I can upload a profile photo. I need your guidance, please. I had a little bit of problems with the photo as well. Make sure, I think it's got to be a JPEG, and you may have better luck if you do it from Google, or you upload it to some sort of Google upload imager and then get a URL from that with the .jpeg. Give that a try. I'm pretty sure that's what I did to figure mine out. And yes, there's been some trial and error. Sometimes some things with DTube will fail, and I'll just have to try something else. Like about a week ago, nothing was uploading for me. It wasn't working for me on DTube for like 2-3 days. So I ended up just downloading Firefox instead of Chrome, and then it worked. And now I don't need that anymore because I guess they fixed whatever bug it was. So yeah, there's little workarounds that you can find. But I think it's really important for Steemit posts for people to properly structure their Steemit posts. If you want to get views on Steemit and you want people to continue to read your stuff or watch your stuff, one of the most important things, believe it or not, is that it's visually pleasing to the eye to read. You'll notice I often have more bolder text at the top with kind of a catchy headline, and then a little bit of smaller text and broken up into paragraphs. It's just easier on the eyes. If you have a big chunk of text, nobody's going to vote it up. Nobody's going to read it. Images are good. GIF files are good. Make it visually appealing for people as much as possible. All right, let's get back to the Steemit questions, because we are here live. People are tuning in as we go here, because it depends on if they've just logged into Steemit or not. On the subject of school, what do you think about the Ron Paul homeschool program? I was thinking about putting my 10-year-old through it the next school year. I didn't know Ron Paul has a homeschooling program, but that sounds awesome. If he does, if that is indeed the case, do it. That sounds great. I just got back from Anarchapulco not too long ago, where there was a lot of homeschooling workshops. There was a lot of great talks on just how important it is to basically get your kids out of the education system. Let's call it what it is. That's the indoctrination system, where the state figured, okay, if we can take kids away from their parents, let's say from ages like 5 to 16 or 18 or whatever, you can really mold and shape their views and opinions and their abilities to question things. I had a roommate once who had a doctorate in philosophy and a master in economics, and he was just incapable of waking up. I mean, we eventually just agreed to disagree, because our discussions would just end in arguments, and I fully believe 100% it's because of his schooling. It's because of the indoctrination in universities here, that he was incapable of seeing things. They did a number on his mind. So yes, the Sarah Monster, absolutely go for it. I would strongly encourage that. Ron Paul is an awesome man. I got the opportunity to meet him, hang out with them. Had dinner with him, not at the same table, but we were at a banquet dinner, hung out with him backstage. I tried to interview him. I came up with my camera rolling, and I had the mic, and I was like, hey, Dr. Paul, can I ask you a few questions? And he was really polite about it, but just said, no, I'm contractually not able to do video interviews on this particular trip. I've interviewed him before over Skype. I really wanted to get it in person, but I settled for a selfie. I said, hey, can I at least take a picture? He said, of course. Yeah, love the guy. So if he's doing a homeschooling program, absolutely go for it. Get the kid out of school, and better yet, have him involved with Ron Paul, him or her. That sounds fantastic. All right, I'll go back to the YouTube chat now. And oh, wow, we got a couple of super chats. Thank you so much, guys. Super chat from Jim Leahy. Thank you. Nice name you got there, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen my interactions with the Trailer Park Boys. Check out my video from 2 days ago, where I put it in the title, something about, are the guys from FUBAR and the Trailer Park Boys truthers, ? Yeah, go give that one a watch, Jim Leahy. You might like what you see there. That was hilarious, actually, how I managed to pull that one off. I just wanted to go interview these guys, and I'm standing outside this venue. I have no idea how I'm going to get in. I don't know how I'm going to find them. I don't have a ticket to this thing. I just know they're going to be at this place. So I see this huge lineup of people waiting to get in, and all of a sudden, they pull up in a cab, and like the Trailer Park Boys get out, and they got a couple of their guys with them in their little entourage, and they go straight towards the backstage entrance to the venue, and I just tucked myself right in there with them, and I just walked right in like as if I was a part of their crew, and I continued to walk in with them, and I'm just and I walk in, we go all the way in, all the way up to the backstage area, right into the green room, and I just let myself in there, and then we're in there, we shut the green room, and it's like the Trailer Park Boys and 3 or 4 other people and me, and I'm waiting for somebody to just go, who's that guy? Why are you here? You need to leave now. But they didn't do that. So I got to hang out with them, and I was going to interview them, but unfortunately, as you'll see in my video, we ended up hanging out in a little tiny closet space, turning it into a good old-fashioned hot box, which some of you may be familiar with. And let's just say that our products here in British Columbia got them far too medicated to be able to do the interview, unfortunately. So that was that. But anyways, good times with the Trailer Park Boys. Scott Rutherford has pitched in also a super chat donation. Thank you so much for that. Is Trudeau really that stupid? Scott is asking. You know what? I think I think he is. I'm not even sure what you're referring to, but I'm just going to say yes. He is that stupid. Trudeau is an idiot. I've had an opportunity to speak with him a number of times. I've confronted him like 2 or 3 times. I've asked him about his Bilderberg attendance. I confronted him on, flipping on Bill C-51, and a few other times at another event. I was kind of talking to him. He's a total douche in real life. Just like he seems on television, it's the same way in real life. How he got in is a miracle. I actually tend to believe him when he says that he's never been to Bilderberg. I asked him, have you been invited? Have you attended? Because every single prime minister since his father has been, except for Trudeau, apparently. Check those out. Use the search feature if you haven't seen those ones, Scott. But yeah, I do think he is that stupid. Did you see his response about steel tariffs? I mean... That should go to show you that he's spewing rhetoric. He's just trying to memorize talking points. That little stint he did talking about quantum physics at a school university with this big black checkerboard with all these equations behind him, he nailed that one. But don't forget, he's a former substitute drama teacher. The guy knows acting. He knows how to memorize lines. Didn't work out so well when he was talking about the steel trade tariffs. If you guys may be familiar with his falling all over the place because he couldn't remember the talking points that were given to him. So yes, I do think he is that stupid. Okay, let's check the YouTube chat again. Lots more stuff coming in. Bear with me as I scroll through. At Press for Truth, what are your thoughts on goldmoney.com? I know so many of them. You have to refresh my memory. Whose is Gold Money? Is that Maloney's, or is that oh gosh, refresh my memory on which one that is, and I'll let you know. Okay. Dan, what do you think about Castro's son leaving a note after his suicide saying Trudeau is the son of the late Fidel Castro? I didn't know that Castro's son left a note suggesting that. I'm well aware of the theories going around suggesting that Justin Trudeau is the son of Fidel Castro. At first, it was like, that's a funny one. But you look at those pictures, it's pretty convincing. And the fact that his mom was in Cuba at that time when he was conceived, not only that, she is known to be promiscuous. I mean, she apparently slept with the Rolling Stones. She got around. That's known. That's not a secret. So you couple all that together, and it's like, is this true? I haven't really gone deep down that particular rabbit hole, so I don't know. I didn't even know that Castro's son left a note saying this, apparently. But it is pretty interesting. These leaders are groomed, from cradle to grave, really, by their handlers. So I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't be surprised, but I really don't know if that's true or not. Dan, you need to do more videos on targeted individuals, says Merlin Crisp. Yeah, I would like to do that, you know. I've had a lot of people contact me over the years who have told me that they are targeted individuals. But I had so many people contacting me saying that I don't know which ones, or how to tell which ones are real, and who's telling the truth. But I know it happens, and it does need to be exposed. There's various ways that it's done with various technologies, and these intelligence groups, the CIA, CSIS, FBI, they're a crafty bunch, so I wouldn't put it past them, and I know this does go on. So I'm totally open to maybe not, if an interview doesn't come up, I maybe at least do a little kind of maybe documentary style piece on it. That's not a bad idea. Thanks for the comment. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's Peter Schiff's, I think, is what somebody's saying. Yeah, well, if that's the case, I'm not big. I'm not big on it. I'm not a super fan. Not so much because of the site itself or any ill practices going on there, just because I'm not a huge fan of Peter Schiff much. I like this stuff he says, but as a person, I've hung out with him a few times. I've interviewed him, I think, 3 times now, and every single time I interview him, when I go up to ask the guy for an interview, I get the same reaction every single time. Hey, Peter, my name's Dan. I was wondering if I can get a quick interview here with you. It'd take no more than 5-10 minutes of your time. Every single time I get the same response. It's, who are you with? He stares me up and down before he asks me who I'm with, and I'll say, oh, I'm Press for Truth, independent. And then he'll kind of like say, yeah, get me, after the lunch break. And so I'd come back after the lunch break. Hey, I'm here. You ready to do it? Oh, hit me up when I'm over at my booth. All right, I follow him around this venue, go to the booth. All right, you ready to do the interview? Yeah, I just need to talk to these guys. And then he'll just leave me kind of hanging off to the side, waiting for him to finish a random conversation with somebody. This would go on for hours that I'm trying to get an interview with the guy. And I've interviewed him 3 times now, and every single time I get the same result. So I'm not a big fan of the man himself. He hasn't been very polite or nice or charming or decent or cool to be around in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I'm not interested in his website for that reason. Jewish Privilege asks, Dan, can you answer the question that Jordan Peterson, the unprincipled hypocrite coward, cannot? You might have to fill me in a little bit more on what that question is, but I'll take a stab at it. I got a chance to interview Jordan Peterson too. Man, oh man, that was crazy. I lined it up with him. He said, yeah, no problem, let's do it. We'll do it after my talk. But the guy who was running the event was on me like a hawk. He was like, he was of the opinion that Peterson didn't actually want to be interviewed and that it was inconveniencing him. So I start the interview with Peterson, and this guy is right on our shoulders, like right there. Within about 3 minutes in, maybe 4 minutes into the interview, I can see him coming in, about to jump right in between us and say, I got to cut it short, guys. I got to cut it. Jordan's got to come with me, because he was feeling that I was pressuring him into the interview or something, which wasn't true at all. So I had to cut that one short. I had to just wrap it up real quick. Otherwise, this guy was going to interrupt my interview. So unfortunately, I only got to speak with the man for like 4 or 5 minutes. But even in that time, we talked a lot about a lot of great things: the importance of individualism, the dangers of collectivism, and all the things that he's been dealing with, even in that short period of time. So I was happy with that. You call him a coward, Jewish Privilege. I'm really curious to see what this question is, because the man is very much so not a coward. He's been thrusted into the limelight, center stage, for speaking out about his beliefs, and he hasn't backed down. I mean, he is the real deal, man. I think he's absolutely fantastic. So you think he's a hypocrite coward? I think you're just mistaken. You need to watch some more Jordan Peterson. What do you think of anarchy? Says Cool Panda. Anarchy is a beautiful thing. I used to have a misconception of it, just like most people. I used to, probably about 10 years ago, I was of the opinion that anarchists are those guys who dress in black and they throw rocks at banks' windows and, cause trouble. Over the years, my understandings and my knowledge of the philosophies of anarchism have evolved, and I've come to learn about the non-aggression principle and about free association and about the concepts of voluntarism, and I'm fully on board with it. This is why I speak at Anarchapulco every year. I've given a talk at the world's largest anarchist conference 4 years in a row now. Despite the fact that I don't technically identify as an anarchist, I am. If I had to call myself anything, it would be an ANCAP, an anarchist capitalist, But I don't like to put those kind of labels on myself. So I'm fully in line with the philosophies of anarchism and the concepts of the non-aggression principle. I just think it's a bit of a utopian pipe dream. It's not going to happen. We're never not going to have government. I'm sorry to tell you, all you fundamental hardcore anarchists, but it's just not going to happen. And I'm not. It's not that I'm having a negative outlook on this. It's just this is my understanding of the nature of the beast. I follow. I'm a researcher of the Bible. I'm interested in biblical prophecy, as a matter of fact, and I do believe that things are going to get a heck of a lot worse before anything gets better, and that governments are always going to be there. So anarchy, as I said, it's a bit of a pipe dream, but I'm fully 100% in line with the concepts and the philosophies there. In fact, I gave a speech at this year's Anarchapulco that I really laid out my views, and I brought up my spiritual beliefs in that talk, which I don't normally do. It comes out when I'm here live, but when I'm focusing on doing PFT videos, I'm usually just diving into research and trying to expose certain issues. But at Anarchapulco, I explained what all my beliefs are in that regards and how it ties into anarchism. And they are currently editing that video, and it should be out soon. So Cool Panda, stay tuned for my speech coming out of Anarchapulco, where I talk about my spiritual ideas and how that intermingles with my anarchist philosophies. J-Bot Sven or something says, did you ever see a UFO? No, not that I know of. I remember as a kid thinking I did, and there's a few times that I thought I did, but in my opinion, it's more likely that it's probably man-made military testing equipment, but I can't say, that I ever have. It's interesting that this apparent disclosure is coming out with that footage being released by the government. I don't know what exactly is behind that one, why now, but me personally, no, I can't say that I ever did. Okay, gonna hop back over to the Steam for a sec. Let me refresh that, steemit.com/@pressfortruth. If you guys are not on there, definitely you gotta be. It's awesome. Already up to $9.67 SBD on this post. That's amazing. Okay. All right. No more new questions coming in from the Steemit, and in fact, we have been going for over an hour. I may have to cut this one soon. People are saying a lot of things about somebody named Jeff in the comments. I haven't seen anybody. Oh, there's one. Hey Dan, stop deceiving before God deals with you on a spike, says Jeff. What am I deceiving people about, Jeff? Why don't you and I have at it right now? You tell me, what am I deceiving people about? And we'll clear the air, shall we? Let me check the super chat. I forgot to check that again. Okay, no more new super chats. No more new comments from Jeff. Jeff says, answer Jim Leahy's question and expose yourself. Okay, just ask me the question, dude. What do you want out of it? What do you want? You want me to go find Jim Leahy's comment now and try to figure out what you want me to... what I'm deceiving people about? Gandalf the White says, Dan, question, have you taken down any of your videos since the YouTube purge began? Ryan Dawson has been deleted, and I fear people, you are next. I removed everything, as are many others. No, I haven't actually. I've been pretty nervous about this purge as well. A lot of my friends are getting dinged. I just was sent a list, a hit list that I'm on, and it's a big list. But every single one of these guys, the Bombard Channel, Richie from Boston, the Health Ranger, there's a few other ones. They talked about Jones, who got suspended and whatnot. They're all on this list. And guess who else is on it? Yours truly. So, fingers crossed. Let's hope I don't become a victim of the purge anytime soon. But no, I'm not going to delete anything. I'm not going to change anything that I'm doing. I'm going to keep plugging away, trucking on through. And if I do get shut down, I'm going to focus my efforts exclusively on Steemit.com, D.Tube, DLive. But hopefully that doesn't happen. It's taken me 11 years now to build up this channel to the point that it is. So I'd like to continue to reach the people who need to hear these messages the most. So hopefully it doesn't happen. Okay, there's a whole bunch more coming through. Still nothing from Jeff. Let me check back on the Steemit, give that a quick refresh, and see if our good friend Lee is... Oh, Lee's live. Guys, let's check it out. This might be weird. I don't know if this is going to work. Wouldn't that be so cool if we could live broadcast Lee being live as she's confronting Kathleen Wynne right now? Did you guys see her confront Justin Trudeau? That was awesome. I also went to the Justin Trudeau town hall that was here in Vancouver and really thought I was going to get a chance to get a question in, but no, they had me pegged. Oh man, Lee's going to get in a question, man. I know it. This is going to be gold. That's not her. This is her live. This is her live broadcast right now. Oh, come on, Lee. That would be so cool if you do this while we're live. And if she does do something, I will have her on as a guest to talk about it. But go to her Twitter right now, guys. Well, don't leave this broadcast. Open them both up. But check her out. Her Twitter is... We'll close this for now until... oh, she's doing that on Periscope. Okay. Well, I think I got the notification on Twitter. Anyways, I believe it's Lee Stewie. Let me just really... yeah. At Lee Stewie. Leightstewey. She is live right now at a town hall. And is probably going to give Kathleen Wynne an earful. I hope so. I really hope she hammers her on that Bill 89, taking kids away from their parents for refusing to recognize their preferred gender pronouns. It's just unbelievable what's going on in Ontario. The sex ed curriculum for the children in school is being changed. It's just mind-boggling what's going on there. So I really hope she gives her a piece of her mind, as I'm sure she probably will. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the YouTube chat. Give this one more quick rundown here. We'll see if there's any new questions. We'll see if our boy Jeff wants to get into it. Oh, we got something new from Jeff. I will expose this guy on a spike, he says. Have at her, Jeff. Have you guys seen that video, Dan Dix Exposed? where some guy named Jeff, funny enough, I'm pretty sure was his name, made a video trying to cut up a video I did where it was like hours after a terrorist event happened in, what was it, the Moncton one or the Quebec one? There's been so many of them. But I made a video just saying, look, guys, let's not jump to conclusions here. We can't just call this a false flag straight out of the gate. And for that, I was considered a shill, a government-paid psyop, a controlled opposition, you name it. This guy went to town. His expose of me is really quite laughable. You know, Jeff, I've been exposed before for being the leader of Hamas. Did you know that? Somebody figured that all out. They took a photo of my ear and the leader of Hamas's ear, and they put them together, and they said, holy, this is proof. Dan Dix is the leader of Hamas, and his name is actually Brett Greenberg. So if that's what you're going to uncover, I'm sorry, you're late to the party. I've already been exposed, my friend. All right, let's see who else we got. Nothing new on YouTube. Gotta head on over to Steemit. Quickly refresh that. And keep an eye on the time because I got to go live on a radio show. Well, that's in probably a couple hours from now. But you know how these live things go. You just get into it, and all of a sudden, like 2-3 hours go by, and that's how these go sometimes. Okay, what do we got here? Jeff says, go ahead and tell us the politicians you work for to promote crypto. You're with the New World Order. You got me, man. What a killer expose that was. Oh, busted. You know, we're not going to let trolls hijack the chat section, so I'm not going to bother paying too much more attention to this guy. I absolutely would never delete anybody's comment. I would never censor anybody. People say that all the time. They're like, oh yeah, this guy's into free speech. Meanwhile, he deleted my comment or he blocks me from commenting. No, I don't. I have never blocked anyone from commenting. I do not delete comments. So if anybody says that, it's just simply not true. I love you, Dan, but you need help, says Mr. Grand Wazoo. You're darn right I need help. I could use an editor. I could use a cameraman. I could use some financial support. I'm a one-man show. I mean, a lot of people don't know that there's nobody else involved here. It's all me. I do the research. I do the editing. I shoot the stuff. I upload the stuff. I do the promo. I do the marketing. I eat, sleep, and breathe PFT. I am Press for Truth. There's no other buddy involved here. I've had other people working with me throughout the years who have kind of come and gone, but at this stage in the game, it's just me, folks. So yeah, you're right. I could use some help. What editing software do you use? I just saw that question. I use Premiere. I use Premiere Pro on a PC, but in fact, I may soon be switching to a Mac because an awesome Steemit user just contacted me this morning with an incredible donation. He gave me an Apple gift card for $3,000 for the Apple Store to buy a Mac. That's what he said. Some guy just gave me that this morning. Absolutely awesome. I'm just so blessed to have people contribute like that. So I may be getting a Mac very soon, and that editing software, I might get into Final Cut Pro. I've dabbled in it a little bit. But apparently you can also put Premiere Pro on a Mac. So I may give that a try. So to answer your question, yeah, Premiere Pro is where it's at for me. And I may attempt to do that on a Mac soon because an awesome viewer has just made that contribution. Oh, Jeff says, I'm not a troll, buddy. I'll see you in New York. Is that a threat, Jeff? You know I'm going to New York in 4 days, right? So, you threatening me here live on YouTube? We'll see what happens, brother. I'm really not afraid. You guys have no idea what the kind of things I have to deal with, like this guy and other things. I've gotten death threats on my phone before. I've gotten all kinds of crazy stuff. The phone one was nuts. This guy left a message saying, I'm watching you, I'm coming for you, you better watch your back. And then he says, what does this sound like? And you just hear click, 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 like as if he's holding the gun up to the phone. That was years ago, though, but do I let those things bother me? No, absolutely not. I can't operate in fear and walk around worrying about these loser trolls who are threatening to come to New York or do whatever they're going to do. Listen, half of these guys are just, I hate to say it, a little bit jealous. This Jeff guy's probably a YouTuber. He's probably somebody who wants to be involved in the field of independent media. And, sometimes when other people get a little bit of success in this field, other people get ragingly jealous, and it's sad and pathetic, and I feel for you, Jeff. I really do. All right, what else we got? Don't buy a MacBook. What should I buy? I really don't know. MacBook Pro, MacBook Air. I don't even know what they're called. I'm not even familiar with Macs. My girlfriend's on a Mac. I'm the PC. She's the Mac. She says if I switch over, it's going to make so much more sense. It operates better. She's like, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you figure it out, you're going to say, this is so much better than PC. I don't know. This is just what I've been using all my life, PCs. So maybe it is time to switch over and check it out, especially since I just got basically a free Mac donated to me this morning, so maybe it's time to make the switch. Mark says, for editing, my father uses Pro. Is a Pro, use a Mac. Yeah, generally for video editing, the mega pros do use Mac. Macs are where it's at for video editing. I do know that, but it's just Premiere is what I know, and so I got to stick with what I know. But I think I'm going to be able to get Premiere on a Mac, so we'll give that a try. Okay. Scroll down. Check out the Steemit once more. Quickly refresh that. And I don't see any new comments coming in. Let me just make sure. There's a lot of people responding to other people. Let me just see if there's any comments or questions, No, nothing new on the Steemit post as of yet. We'll double back to the YouTube once more, quickly check. Stick with softball questions, Dan, says Jewish Privilege. A lot of people think I skip over questions. I don't. These are, flying by, and when I scroll through, I just generally look for question marks, and when I see one, I just start reading. Please look into what I said earlier. Not sure what you said there, Zero Black. Unfortunately, all these chat comments disappear after the live broadcast. I can't go back and read all these once this is over, unfortunately. Dan, what event or happening, like pedophilia related or otherwise, would tip the general public into a new paradigm? I'm not sure if that's what you mean by pedo. What event would tip the general public into a new paradigm? Well, it depends on what type of paradigm you're talking about. A consciousness shift or a false flag type event. I think we are going down the roads of another major false flag. I think the Canadian people, the American people, but especially the Canadian people, have been conditioned lately for an attack. Because we've been chilling out for far too long up here. Lee just went live again, which means she may actually be in the middle of confronting Kathleen Wynne. So let's just check that out real quick.
And that's the reality that we're dealing with.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, turn it down for a sec. If you're just tuning in, our good friend Lee Stewie is at a town hall right now, about to question and or confront Kathleen Wynne. She looks like she's got an excellent seat. She's right up at the front. And God love her, Lee Stewie. She does good work. And let's see if we can catch her confronting Trudeau live on her live. This will be cool. Let's let her finish this question and see if she gets the next one. Can you guys even hear that?
I think there are around 3,000 people now who are in the pilot. It's a pilot that will affect 4,000 people in total. That was the design of it. So it's not a huge number of people. There are 13.5 million people.
Let me know if you're getting that audio.
We're talking about 4,000 people.
And if that audio was decent, then I'll put this back on for when and if Lee does confront her, which I know she's gonna do it, guys. So go get on her Twitter right now. She's live. And Kathleen Wynne is so deserving of being confronted and hit up with some hard questions. My God, what she's doing is terrible. Robert says good audio. Okay, good. You can hear it. Excellent. Great audio. The biggest false flag coming soon. Yep. He is an agent, says Jeff. Yeah, when I put it close to the screen, it sounds pretty good. All right, should I hang out for a little bit more? I was going to end the broadcast kind of soon, but now our friend Lee is live, about to potentially confront Kathleen Wynne, so it might be cool to actually watch this live together. If she does this, which I know she's going to do. So let's see. She's in the middle of somebody's question right now. So let's just wait until she wraps up this question and see if she gets to Lee next. Oh, here we go.
So there's a man right here.
Ah.
And then I know there's a young woman in the back, and I'll come back to you the next time I come around, okay? All right?
Hi, my name is
Not yet. They're on to something else right now. Man, it would be cool to be able to watch her do this live while I'm live. That may still happen. We'll give it another little bit here and see if we manage to do that. Rika says, I'm not familiar with Wynne. What has she done? Oh, wow. She has just destroyed the province called Ontario. She is the leader of Ontario. She's a lesbian. Not that that matters, but she sets policy for, how children are being treated in schools and at home in Ontario. She's the one who's pushing Bill 89, the one that would have children taken away from their parents from child service protection agencies if the parents refuse to recognize their child's preferred pronoun. That's what Kathleen Wynne is all about. So if your little 4-year-old Sally wants to call herself Billy or vice versa, and little Sally wants to be a he instead of a she, and mom and dad say, no, you were born a girl, you are still a girl. Well, Kathleen Wynne would say, you are not respecting that child's rights, and that child should be taken away from the parent. Unbelievably disgusting what's going on in Ontario with Kathleen Wynne. So I saw that Lee Stewie put up a poll on her Twitter, I think that was last night, saying, what would you question Wynne about if you had the chance? And I voted for the question about Bill 89. So we'll see if she does it. This doesn't look like there's a whole heck of a lot of people here. I mean, here, let me switch back to the camera so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people. Let me turn it out. Let's see what this guy's saying.
And they addressed it by hiring David Marshall, a banker. He's now over in the car insurance. He's going to look at that and start cutting your benefits when you have a car accident, just like he did to injured workers. The policy changes that they made at the board have affected disinjured workers, affected my
This guy's going on about car insurance and stuff like that.
people who are being left behind. Well, right at your doorstep, every year at June 1st, we are at Queen's Park asking this government to take notice about the concerns of the injured workers.
Well, that's your problem, buddy. Keep asking the government to solve all the problems that are created by the government. That is circular logic that is going nowhere. It's amazing how people can't see that. I'm going to tell Lee that I'm live right now. Lee, I'm live. Say hi to the camera. Let's see if she gets the message anytime soon. And then we can maybe give her some tips and hints and ideas of what she could do and what she could question them about. But again, uh-oh, broadcast just cut out. Oh, I hope she didn't try to turn the camera around and then that like messed it up for her or something. But anyways, if she does come back on, we'll see. It could just be that she got the feed got cut or that it's not a good connection in there. Yeah, she's already on Town Hall Part 2, so it looks like she's had to broadcast and rebroadcast a couple times. So anyways, stay tuned. She's going to be doing that. Who knows? It might be in 2 minutes. It could be in an hour from now. These town halls can tend to go pretty long sometimes. So I was hoping we'd be able to catch that live, but I don't know. Might not happen. But I'm probably going to end this one soon, so you can head on over to her Twitter, because she's going to continue being live at a town hall in Ontario, about to confront Kathleen Wynne, which is absolutely awesome. Believe me, if I were there, I would be there too. If I were in Ontario, I would be at this thing too. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does. All right, I think I'm going to call it for today, guys. Been going for about an hour and a half. I've got to get ready for a few more things. I've got an interview to edit that I did earlier. I've got a radio show to do tonight. I've got to edit the video that I got to put up tomorrow. And that's it. So I should probably get on that. So one last quick look. All right, you shill. Enjoy the rest of your PSYOP debriefing, says Jeff. Thank you. Appreciate that. Dan is a conservative. They make the best journalists. No, I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm not even right down the middle, man. I'm outside of this ridiculous nonsense. Dan, how can someone get a hold of you? Asks Merlin Crisp. You can get me at dan@pressfortruth.ca, or reach me on Facebook or Twitter, or just go to my contact form on my website at pressfortruth.ca. Jewish Privilege saying, Dan, do you agree with Jordan Peterson banning Faith Goldie from a free speech event for doing a podcast with the Crypto Report at Charlottesville? You are completely mistaken, Jewish Privilege. That had nothing to do with Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson didn't ban Faith Goldie from a free speech event. That was Ezra Levant who did that. I think perhaps that's who you're referring to. Maybe you're just mistaken. But yeah, I didn't think, if that's what you're referring to, yeah, I didn't think that was cool at all. I think, Faith Goldie should have been there. It was an event worth covering there in Charlottesville. The fact that she went on a certain show that was very pro-white supremacist, pro-Nazi type show, That I can understand why her boss, Ezra Levant, would have a bit of a problem with her, who's supposed to represent Rebel Media at the time, going on a show like that, which is the reason for her being fired, I do believe. Not that she, well, yeah, as you said, that she did the podcast. I don't even remember the name of the show, but this has nothing to do with Jordan Peterson. Jewish privilege. I do not know what you're talking about. You seem to be very confused about that one. Nope, look it up, Dan. Ezra fired Faith. Yeah, that's what I said. You said Jordan Peterson did it in your comment. Scroll back up and look what you wrote. And I just corrected you, and now you're saying, no, it was Ezra. Anyways, all right, guys. Don't feed the trolls. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Jordan Peterson banned her from his event. Oh, well, okay, that's something different. I would like to see proof of that Jordan Peterson banned her from an event. I highly, highly doubt that. But we'll see. Maybe you can prove me wrong. Send me the link, dan@pressfortruth.ca. I will check it out. One last refresh on the Steemit post. And then I got to get back to my my shilling. The CSIS guys are just over here, and they're waiting to fly me back to Langley. I got to get my marching orders from the Illuminati, so I better get going soon. Right, Jeff? All right, sorry, guys. I said I wouldn't feed the trolls, but yeah, it's fun sometimes. It's all about that balance, remember? Okay, I think that's it, guys. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to how you can support us. And I say us, but it's, like I said, it is just me here. So if you do want to support the work that I'm doing, you can become a PFT patron. That's a good way to do it. Or better yet, the PFT, the Patreon only, Patreon alternative link. Rather, where we can just get outside of having to go around an organization like Patreon, which is has a lot of potential to censor me. So that's that. Again, subscribe to the channels. Get on Steemit.com. Follow me at Steemit.com/@pressfortruth if you are not yet. Highly recommend you guys check that out. It is the future of social media. They are paying you to post rather than Facebook making all that money off of the YouTube advertising. You can get paid to post at DTube and Steemit.com. It's been a life-changing game changer for me. I don't know why other people aren't doing this. It's crazy not to be on there at this point. So go on over to Steemit.com and follow me at Steemit.com/@pressfortruth. And maybe I can follow you back. We'll upvote each other. I'll give you SBD. You give me SBD. It's going to be awesome. So, once again, thank you guys. And I am going to go ahead and end this one. Let's see if I can figure out how. But, yeah, I think I got it here. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep fighting the good fight. Peace.